Hello everyone, and welcome to this series where I shoutcast your game. So if you want me to shoutcast one of your games, just add a comment with your summoner name and I will take a look at the game at some point, and maybe you will end up here on the channel. So today we're taking a look at this pike named Malling, here where it already looks like we will see some level 1 action with pike, the summoner that we are taking a look at today, already getting caught out. Gets ignited, he goes down first, but it ends up being a 1-for-1. Both the supports goes down. In goes Viego, flashes out again as the pike now. But yeah, we are taking a look at this pike, the guy named Malling. He is a 7th season platinum player, except for season 9 where he reached diamond. He is a Camille and Gnar player, but in this game he decided to go pike. And since he has a Karthus ADC, I really expect a lot of action from this pike elsewhere on the map. I think that the commentator was a bit high. I'll just take the announcement volume down a bit. Here we go. Yeah, so we are casting the game of, or this pike's game, solo queue game. And as I said, he has a Karthus ADC, which probably means that there won't happen a lot for this blue side bot lane early game. They are in a rough matchup against a Thresh and a Varus with a lot of good poke. They have great all-in potential onto the castles if they land the death sentence. So all not a great bot lane for blue side, even though they are getting the push in here. If we go to mid lane, we have the Akshan Syndra matchup. Which is, I'm actually not quite sure which side the matchup favors to. I think it's pretty depending on who lands their abilities first. I mean, Syndra is usually pretty good in lane because you have to scatter the weak, and once you get to level 6 you also have to go rogue. Here where Thresh lands a death sentence onto the Karthus. As we said, that's a great all-in potential for red team. Karthus is forced to flash out, so is the... and also pop his other summoner skill. Varus pops his heal us also. But if we go back to this mid lane, we have both Akshan and Syndra, which are champions with no gap closes whatsoever. So if you ask me personally, I would say that both teams should be looking to gank this mid lane here, as Viego goes down to Zhao and Gangplank. Akshan also gets a solo kill in the mid lane. Bot lane also gets a kill. Thresh goes down, Varus flashes forward, does end up killing the pike, and ends up going down himself to the castles. And I actually think that it was a delayed ace for blue side right here, or maybe they only got 4 kills. Yeah, the rune didn't went down, but 4 kills on blue side here. They get a kill in all 3 lanes at the same time, and that is a great start here, where Syndra is caught out. Looks like she takes a turret shot, doesn't have the flash, will go down again to Akshan and Zhao. A great gank. And what I would say about this mid lane is that I expect the junglers to be in here all the time, especially now with no flashes on both mid laners. You have a Syndra and no gap closer. The only way of escaping a gank is if she lands the Scatter the Weak, which is not really reliable counter ganking. And on the side of for red team, you play against an Akshan and you have Scatter the Weak. You also have a Viego who can stun Akshan with his Spectral Maw. So if you just land one of the abilities, that's also a guaranteed kill because of the squishiness of his mid lane ADC. But if we go up to the top lane that we haven't had the time to talk about, here as bot lane is fighting once again. Looks like the Thresh is called out. He is ignited by the pike. It looks like he will go down. It will be a 1-0. Pretty inconsistent in the bot lane. They win this trade heavily, and a matchup that I thought would have been, or should have turned out to be, very Varus Thresh sided is now turned into a Bit of a storm from blue side bot lane, 3 kills onto the castles. He's up double the CS of this Varus. And that should be very tough for this Varus to survive. I thought they would go for a dive here, but Sensao decides to settle for the Grump and maybe a bit more counter jungling. Meanwhile, blue team, they will take a plate, and this would be a good time to reset. Carlos Lancer Q gets a Dark Harvest stack. And looks like they will push the lane again, probably before they recall. The rest action almost goes in. And mid lane, if you look at your minimap, this could look to be a 2v2 in the mid lane here, as Viego doesn't know where the Sensao is. They are dancing a bit back and forth in the mid lane. And in the 2v2, obviously a lot depends on the abilities you land, but I would say that in the 2v2 it's very blue side favored because of you have an ADC. Here a Pike flashes forward, lands a bone skewer, and they get the kill onto Syndra. It's now 8 kills for blue team in only 6.5 minutes, and that is a great start. A 2.5k goal lead already. It's looking good for blue team. But if they let us talk about this top lane for a second, we have a Gangplank versus a Riven. A pretty snowballing matchup, but not a lane that has looked to do much, also have much impact so far. Here as Fresh, he lands the death sentence, goes in, lands the play also, and red team, they win a trade with the help of their jungle Viego right here. Yeah, but in sub lane we have the Gangplank versus Riven. Two very strong laners. The later the game goes, the stronger the Gangplank should be. Early game, Riven should have lane dominance as long as she uses the bushes to her advantage and just make sure to get close to the Gangplank. Gangplank obviously great lane. He has his Q, Parley I think it's called, that he can use to harass all the time. But mainly he just wants to go for level 6, so he has the Cannon Barrage that he can impact the rest of the map. But same goes for this Karthus in the bot lane. Not usually a strong laner. In this particular matchup, okay, it's a Karthus with 56 CS and 3 kills already here as he is ganked. Viego lands the Spectrum Wall, Karthus flashes away, Karthus or the Spectrum flashes in, ignites the Karthus, plays him also. It's a 1-to-1 so far. Looks like the Varus will also go down here to Sensao. Even Gangplank joins in with the Cannon Barrage. It is a 2-for-1 for blue team, even though red team start the gank. Syndra lands the Scatter the Weed onto Akshan, but not much will happen because it is only a Syndra. She doesn't have that much all-in potential yet. Sensao tanks a turret shot. Will Viego look for? No, he doesn't. And it ends up being a 2-1 in the bot lane. We will have a bit of action up. Pike is slightly caught out here. Sensao goes in with the audacious charge. Viego misses the Spectral Maw. Sensao flashes on top of him to finish up the kill, and it is a 1-for-0 for blue team with a lot of misplays here, where Karthus pops the Requiem, gets the kill onto Syndra. Gangplank flashes, gets the kill onto Riven with the help of the Requiem, obviously, from Karthus. 13 kills for blue team now in only 9 minutes. It's a 4k goal lead for a team that scales really well, so this looks like it could be a tough game for red team already, even though we are only 9 minutes into the game. But they do have 2 kills onto this Varus, so they can still look to get a couple of 2v2 engages down here in the bot lane. But the problem is every time they go for something, there's someone from blue side here to counter the game. Syndra will also get a plate mid, which is great when you think about the fact that she's 0-4, so the fact that she gets a push in and a plate, great for her. The wave should reset, and she can reset also herself now. Looks like she will do that. And bot lane, the red side bot lane is once again pushing up with no vision in the river. Sensao is making his way down here, but is satisfied with just taking down the Vision Ward. Syndra lands the Scarab, weak, Spectrum Ward goes in, his chain CC. And it's a kill for red team. Syndra takes him down with the Unleashed Power, I think it was, or maybe it was actually... Yeah, it was Viego who got the kill, but as I said, that's a great way for red team to play around this mid lane. Here as Pyke, he dives the bot lane, uses the death from below to kill off this Varus. As we see Xin Zhao go down to the or not Xin Zhao, Viego goes down to the Xin and no, it was Xin Zhao. Holy, never mind. In the meantime, Riven gets a 1 versus 1 in the isolated matchup against Gangplank. I think that Gangplank took a turret shot or two maybe. You as Viego goes in bot lane, Pyke doesn't land the stun. It ends up being a 1-1 in the bot lane. But Viego got a kill or a shutdown onto the Pyke, so it is a decent trade. This Karthus though is starting to look very strong. 83 CS in 11.5 minutes. It's decent, I guess, but what you want to look at is these 6 kills that he has. Already 10 stacks on the Dark Shield. So it's looking good for this Karthus. His Requiem will already start to hurt a lot more than it should at this point of the game. In the meantime, Varus has also completed his Duskblade. You have 1 item pretty much all around the board, or at least close to. Whereas Pyke goes in, flashes to hit the double stun. Action is also bullet. There is a 3 versus 2, lands the death from below. Pyke fresh flashes away. Will he go down to the action? It looks like he will. He misses the Avenger rank, but there's the Requiem. Fresh goes down, and it's now a Karthus with 7 kills. A great flash engage from Pyke. Starts off with just engaging with the Ghost Ward dive, so the red team bot lane doesn't see him. Uses the stun, flashes on top of both of them, hits the double stun bot lane, and it ends up being a 2-4-0 for blue team. Whereas both junglers is around top side. This could be a 2v2, but I think the red team has the vision on Xin Zhao. Yeah, and it's usually not great when your Karthus can land 1 Q onto the enemy Varus and take half his HP 13 minutes into the game. So it's not looking great for red team. What we can say is that red team, they still have a great or at least potential to have a great wombo combo team fight at some point. Here as Karthus is caught out, gets caught by the Chain of Corruption, also the Death Sense. It is a 1-0 for red team. I think they will get both maybe. Varus pretty much ends by just staying inside of the Death Karthus E. At the same time as Syndra goes down in the mid lane, and blue team, they also take the mid turret. Pyke goes in, lands the Bone Skewer, lands the death from below, and escapes also. It's a great kill for Pyke here as Gangplank also goes down in the top side. Not much has happened in this top lane, but he ends up going down once again as Action pushed in mid, took the tier 1, now also took the tier 2 turret, which is great for Xin Zhao because it allows this 5th Xin Zhao to now invade the red team's jungle relatively safely. He can also get a lot of help from Action now, who can use his Golden Rogue, I think it's called, which is the ability that makes him invest. That he can use that to help Xin Zhao counter or invade. Whereas Xin Zhao is very lucky not to be spotted because it would be in a 1 versus 3. Pops the ultimate, I think he just wants to get out here. Yeah. Once again, Pyke lands the Bone Skewer, but Fresh also lands the Death Sentence. His can't flash away, but is played back into the turret. Pike lands a bone skewer to make it a 1-for-1. And Carlos decided not to use his ult, even though it would probably have killed Carlos, or not Carlos, but the Varus. Will Varus escape? Pike gets the turret, looks to kill this Varus, lands a bone skewer, and the death from below. It is a 2-for-1 in the bot lane, and now this Pike is also starting to really make his impact. 7 kills, 3 deaths, 7 assists. Been in 14 minutes and 15.5 seconds. Gets hit by the Scatter the Weak and ends up going down to the Syndra, who also gets a shutdown onto Pike. Gangplank caught up once again, pops the ultimate. Not much that a Cannon Barrage can do in that situation. And it is now a 1-3 Gangplank, who has had, well, so far, I think we can pretty much say 0 impact. Here as Carlos tries to 1 versus 2 against a Viego and a Riven. Not much will happen here, as Akshan is now trying to do the same thing, gets hit by the Spectral Maul. Riven goes in, doesn't have the ultimate, and she ends up actually surviving. So a 2-for-0 for red team here. A great trade after some not so great play for blue team. Here as Sinzao goes in with the audacious charge, lands the knockup, once again lands his W. Pike takes down the Riven, Sinzao takes down Viego, and it is now they get 2 return kills for the 2 kills that they invested topside. Gangplank looks like he will die once again. Syndra misses her second Q but says, I don't need it, I'm just gonna pop the Unleashed Power, her ultimate, and she picks up the kill onto Gangplank. Here's Pike is once again mid lane. Misses the stun onto Syndra, but Syndra also misses the Scatter the Weak onto Pike. Pike has the death from below. And it's another kill for this Pike, who has been in now 16 kills in 17.5 minutes. 2 items on the support. Mobility boost, so he can roam around this. He can be anywhere on the map anytime he wants to. And yeah, it was also what we expected from this Pike. Obviously, you have a Carlos ADC, so you don't want to lane that much. You want to be elsewhere on the map, but I have to say that I did not expect bot lane to go the way that it actually went with a blue side. Well, I think it's easy to say that blue side heavily dominated this bot lane so far, with, let's see now, 17 kills on the blue side bot lane right now compared to 4 kills on the red side bot lane. Looks like, if you look at the minimap mid lane, blue team is a bit caught behind enemy lines here, as Viego lands the Spectral Wall. They take down the Carlos. It is a 1-1 so far. Barrett ends up going down. Pike misses the death from below. It is a 3-for-2 so far. A 4-for-2 for blue team here, and they once again win the trade heavily, even without Gangplank being there, which is helping with his Cannon Barrage. Riven misses her Wind Slash, probably wouldn't have killed Pike anyway. And this should also mean a free turret for this Gangplank, since Riven popped her teleport to be a part of the team fight in the red side bot side jungle, or how you want to say it. A couple of pings onto the Rift Herald for Gangplank. Don't think he will be able to get it now, where both Syndra and Viego is down there. This could be a 5th death for Gangplank. Looks to be a bit caught up. Does have to flash. He can flash into, yeah. Does flash over the wall, and now it's suddenly Viego and Syndra who is caught out here. Blue side is sprinting to help. Viego, Carlos, and also Sinzao is there. Who will get the Herald? Will Viego succeed in getting this? He does kill the Herald. He will not be there to pick it up. Pike ends up taking him down, and also takes down the Syndra. 12 kills onto this Pike already. A couple of kills there with from below. She has the gold with his other team members here as Varus lands the chain of corruption onto the castles, and he tries to flash the castle's ultimate, which is never a good idea. I think it's probably rule 2 of League of Legends, right behind the Don't Ever Chase a Cinch. Pyke again is looking to kill this Fresh, and he ends up doing so. 13 kills. At the same time, we have Sensao here taking away the blue buff for red team, and it's a 10k gold lead, only 20 minutes into the game. I think it's time that we can wrap this game up. Shouldn't be much longer than this. I mean, a 10k gold lead blue team, they also have the scaling on their side. They have both dragons. It is really hard to see a win here for red team. It should be a very good wombo combo maybe. And then a Baron, couple of turrets. They do have the objective bounties, but I think it's too big of a goal lead right now. We even see this 1-4 Gangplank being able to harass the Riven, probably just because of the global gold he's already gained from the turrets and the assist with the use of his cannon barrage to help cross map. Whereas Viego is deep inside of blue side jungle. He was pinged, so they should know that he's in there. Engages onto the gangplank, ends up taking him down. Misses the barrel, and once again Pyke gets a kill. And Akshan resurrects Gangplank with his passive. Very balanced passive, we can pretend. So we have Pyke here once again looking for some members caught up. What it looks like it is this Pyke actually caught up now. 1 versus 3. He ends up going down this 1k gold for Riven here. Where there was definitely an idea behind what he did. Gangplank gets hit by the skill of the week, take a unleashed power to the face, ends up going down in the 1 versus 1. Here as blue team was looking for a 3 versus 3 in mid lane, but Fresh ends up saving Varus with the lantern. Ooh, and these Qs, they really hurt now. 11k gold on this Carlos. The Requiem is popped. That should be a double kill, 2 kills. 2 more kills for Carlos. I don't even think that he had seen the Syndra in the top lane, otherwise he would probably have popped the ultimate earlier. But he gets the Thresh, he gets the Syndra. It's now 13 kills for the blue side AD carry. It's 14 kills for the blue side support. It's 27 combined kills for this bot lane in 23 minutes. 10k gold lead for blue team, and I think it's safe to say that this has pretty much been a 2 versus the rest game for this blue side bot lane here. Certainly hasn't been the Gangplank who's had the impact that he wanted to. I think it is safe to say here as blue side they take the Baron uncontested, it looks like. Yep, completely uncontested. That's a 12k gold lead now. And what can they do here? I mean, they still have a top tier 2 turret to take. They could just go for a 1-3-1 here. They could also look to... let's see what happens here with the Gangplank. He actually blows the Syndra. Blows her up in the 1 versus 1. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 here as Pyke goes in onto the Viego, takes him down with the death from below. Akshan is caught up here by the Riven. They both flash over the wall. So does Sensao. It is a 2-for-2 across the map right now, but Sensao is still fighting onto this Riven. And what happened here? I think, yep. Yeah, I think that red team just surrendered. Kind of anticlimactic with the camera control here at the end. But with a 11k goal lead after 24 minutes, 39 kills onto this blue side, it makes sense that red team, they want to surrender. So yeah, very good game for this Pyke mailing, as we which was the guy whose game we cast it. So thank you for letting me cash your game. If you watch this and you want me to cash your game, just comment your summon name and I will take a look at it. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.